This day in sports history. This episode is brought to you by Sterling Soap. Go to STIRLING soap.com and check out their full line of bath soaps, shave soaps, beard balm, lotions, and cologne. It's April 13th, and on this day in 2016, Kobe Bryant closed out his NBA career in style. The 37-year-old Kobe had suffered some season-ending injuries in the past couple of years, a ruptured Achilles tendon in 2013, a knee fracture in 2014, and then a torn rotator cuff in 2015. His body was breaking down, and he was ready to move on to the next phase of his life. The Lakers were not a good team in 2016. They'd won just 14 games at this point, and any playoff hopes they may have harbored were set adrift in February. But Kobe was not about to end his stellar career with a loss. With the Lakers down double digits with 2.5 to play, Kobe took over. Enter the Black Mamba.
A basket equals a 50-point game. Kobe underneath. He's got 51! To get tired. Down the middle he goes. Corner of the key. He's got another one. Kobe with the ball and the Lakers down 4. Bryant on his way. It's a one-point game. Chance to take the lead, and look who has the ball. With half a minute to play, Bryant for the lead. Yes! Kobe Bryant gives the Lakers the lead.
With 15 seconds left, he added 2 free throws for his 59th and 60th points, and then delivered a court-length pass for a dunk, and the Lakers beat the Jazz 101-96. It was an exclamation point on a spectacular 20-year NBA career. On this day in 1957, it was a double overtime thriller and a game to decide the NBA's world champion. The St. Louis Hawks and the Boston Celtics were tied at 3 games apiece heading into the decisive Game 7 on this night at the Boston Garden. Neither of these teams had won an NBA championship at this point, and if it wasn't for Tommy Heinsohn and Bill Russell, the Hawks would have won their first title, no doubt. Boston controlled the pace of the game throughout and threatened to run away with it behind Heinsohn's 37 points and Russell's 32 rebounds. With under a minute to play, Russell hit a layup on the offensive end and then hustled back to block a Hawks layup on the other. But the Hawks still had some fight in them, and when Bob Pettit sank a pair of free throws in the final seconds of regulation, it tied the game and sent it to overtime number 1. It then went into a second overtime and nearly a third, but Pettit's last-second effort rimmed out, and the Celtics won their first NBA title 125-123 in double OT. On this day in 1984, Pete Rose became just the second man in history to reach the 4,000-hit plateau. The 42-year-old Rose was a Montreal Expo at this point in his career, facing his old club, the Philadelphia Phillies. On the mound was 41-year-old veteran pitcher Jerry Koosman.
A couple of veterans going at each other here. Rose driving the ball to right field. Extra base hit. There it is. He's on his way to second. And Pete Rose takes another big step toward baseball immortality.
Pete became only the second major leaguer to reach the 4,000-hit plateau. He would pass the only other guy on that list, Ty Cobb, a year and a half later in September of 1985. And on this day in 2009, former Major League pitcher Mark the Bird Fidrych died in a tragic farming accident. Fidrych burst onto the scene in 1976 with the Detroit Tigers and made a name for himself quickly with his mesmerizing pitching and his perplexing behavior on the mound. He ended up starting the All-Star game as a rookie, and he finished that year with a 19-9 record, leading the league with his 2.34 ERA and 24 complete games, easily winning him Rookie of the Year. And then it all seemed to disappear in a heartbeat. He tore cartilage in his knee in the following spring training, and he was never the same. But with the money he made in his brief career, he bought a 107-acre farm in Northborough, Massachusetts. On this day in 2009, Fidrych was working under his Mack dump truck with the engine running when a piece of his clothing got entangled in it. He was found by a friend a short while later, but nothing could be done to save Fidrych. It was determined that he had died of asphyxiation, and his death was ruled accidental. He was 54 years old. And time now for today's That's Got Nothing to Do with Sports fun fact. The guy whose name is attached to the highest peak on the planet did not want that honor. George Everest was a geological surveyor who was asked to accurately measure the Indian subcontinent. Andrew Scott Wall was his understudy, and after Everest retired, Wall was able to measure the highest summit on Earth to within 23 feet in 1852. Wall wanted to honor the man who taught him everything by naming the mountain after him, but Everest protested, saying that his last name could not be written in Hindi, and the folks who lived in the region couldn't really pronounce it. It seems kind of refreshing that a guy didn't want to slap his name on everything he saw, right? And yet, nobody listened to him. This has been an original Thrive Suite production.